First of all, I think that all of you more or less know what is human-computer interaction if you're here. But just to restate it, human-computer interaction is a branch of computer science, but is at the same time a very highly interdisciplinary field. It comprises a little bit of computer science, but also some key aspects of psychology, sociology, design in the strict sense. And human-computer interaction has to do with the design, the evaluation, and the implementation of digital technologies from human use. The objective we had in this master is to train a new generation of researchers and professionals. We have both a goal to teach you some valuable skills for working, but also for those of you who are interested to have a true understanding of the scientific disciplines of human-computer interaction in order to be able to apply, to pursue for PhD, to apply for a PhD and to pursue an academic career. And the idea is that you should be able, at the end of the course, the master program, to understand the complexity of human cognition, behavior, and emotion in order to embed, to be able to use this knowledge in the design of new artifacts and new technology. As I told you, the idea is to get at the same time practical skills, professional skills, but also to be a possible starting point. There are several PhD programs in Europe, in the US, also in Trento, in our university, but most of our students are then able also to go in other places in Europe with the background. So we try to give you really a strong understanding of HCI as an academic discipline and to a grounded knowledge and a solid methodological basis. Okay? This is not a professional course. It's also a professional course, but not only a professional course. The program is offered in collaboration between the Department of Cognitive Science, which is in Rovereto, which is a small town very close to Trento, and the Department of Engineering and Computer Science in Trento. And so this is a little bit, say, a nuance to go back and forth to these two locations. There are 15 minutes by train, so it's not very, very far each other. But you have to move. We have to be a couple of days in a week on one side and a couple of days on the other side. But I think that is a very valuable opportunity because you will have access to facilities and laboratories in both departments. At the Department of Cognitive Science, there is some very interesting laboratory of eye tracker, EEG. We also have an fMRI, even if, okay, it's not something that in HCI we are not going to use fMRI very often. But that means if you're interested, we also have this machine. Also, we have a very interesting, very modern virtual reality laboratory. But then, of course, in the Department of Engineering and Computer Science, you have the full laboratories that you can expect in a computer science, including another laboratory of virtual reality. And okay, and also we have a joint laboratory with Fondazione Bruno Kessler, which is a very large research center, which is in Trento, in Povo, just on the other side of the streets for the Department of Computer Science. And in FPK, there is no teaching, there is just a research. And but these joint laboratories offer the opportunities for internships and other research experiences, and you can have your final thesis there, if you want, of course. But then there are other opportunities at the university and also the companies. At this point, I will leave the floor to Professor Zweiner to illustrate the courses.
Thank you, and welcome everybody. So the master is structured in a way that you have you start first with the period that it's prior actually to the start of the classes, where those of you who do not have a background in psychology or pertinent, let's say, disciplines, or in computer science, there will be a bridging, basically bridging course, bridging HCI to psychology or to computer sciences. So if those of you who do not have a background or never took classes in psychology, you will get the chance to follow this fairly intense course prior to the beginning of the first semester. Then you will hit in with the first semester, where you'll have mostly core HCI disciplines that are, as you may see from here, compulsory courses. During this first semester, you will also meet another, then if you're interested, we can enter more into the specifics of the courses, or you can just have a look at the syllabi that are available at the Unitian website. So basically, the idea of the course is to have some core courses, a strong focus on methods, both qualitative and quantitative methods, and then have an additional, let's say, focus on a more social interaction area with the 3 courses in here, where one of the courses, social interaction, is actually among your mandatory courses. So basically, you have this first part here that is compulsory for everybody, and that runs between the first and the second semester in the first year of the master's degree and the first semester in the second year of the master's degree. Then you can opt for a list of electives. Here are some of them, or you can choose, as we will see in the next slide. Massimo, I have to ask you to move a slide. Okay, thanks. Then on top of what I just have said, you have 12 additional credits where you can freely choose between other activities that can be either activities or courses selected in other departments. So in other departments, you can choose courses from what is offered in the Department of Cognitive Sciences or the Computer Science Department. In case you have particular interests in some topics where courses are taught in other departments at the University of Trento, and let me here remind you that the Trento University, it's a fairly small university. In Italy, it's categorized as a medium-sized university, but it has top departments within 11 of the 12 departments that currently exist, if I'm not wrong, at the University of Trento. So the choice in terms of elective courses is very, very wide, and you've got plenty of departments where to look at, and a lot of teaching is done in English. But in case you want to move to a different department to take a course, it's much better to have a prior agreement with us, basically, so prior to taking the course. Or within these 12 credits, you can opt for an individual research project. What is the basic idea of this? Well, actually, we like to think that students are given the possibility to somehow autonomously draft your learning process. So you can actually personalize your career path depending on the interest that you might grow, or possibly that you already have, prior to being selected to this master's degree. Massimo, could I ask you the next slide? Sorry. So aside from the courses and the 12 elective, let's take onto the 12 elective CFU. You can opt for a 6-credit research project out of the 12 that I had just mentioned. So let's say you have a particular interest, I don't know, in social robots, or you have a particular interest in virtual reality, or whatsoever is on your mind. You can choose a professor with whom to develop your very personalized research experience for 6 out of the 12 free free credits that you have. So the master course entails also an internship period for 18, and that internship period is basically an 18 credit hours, plus then the master ends up with the thesis, again, 18 CFU. So basically the last semester you have to see your eventual future career as 4 semesters, where 3 are dedicated basically to courses, teaching, exams, possibly developing a personalized research project, and then on top the internship and the thesis, kind of. Massimo, sorry. While you'll we're almost there. While you'll be in Trento, if selected, you will have the possibility also to go for a period of study abroad. So this specific program has got exchange agreements with the universities that you see enlisted here. So in France, in the Netherlands, Austria, and in Germany. But aside from these agreements, the University of Trento has got a wealth of other Erasmus agreements where you can choose from. So these ones are just the ones that we suggest for HCIs. But Trento has an international office that can assist you in terms of looking for other Erasmus possibilities, also in other venues different from the 4 that we see here. And sorry, Massimo, again. So this is kind of the chart that we wanted to share with you in terms of how the program developed. So it's a fairly new program. We exist since 2015. We were very, very small back then. I have been teaching in this program since the first edition, and I have seen really a growing interest towards the program. So the numbers that you see actually here are the interest that we have received in terms of years. As you see, in terms of provenience, basically it's kind of half-half between the EU provenience and non-EU provenience. So basically, that is to say, if you are motivated, and possibly if you're still kind of not sure whether you want to apply or not, we invite you to do so, because then the selection process is becoming, let's say, more intense, at least on our side, for the numbers of applications that we receive. Is there any other slide, Massimo, or this is the last one? Oh yeah. Oh, and the last one is, yes, I believe most of you have seen this page. All of the information that we have, most of the information that we have discussed here with you, it's on our web page, the Unitian web page, and you can clearly contact the teachers in the master or the people working there to support you in case you have any other information.
And the international, the international webpage is from the international office.
Yes.
And perhaps Dr. Dell'Orco wants to say something about the procedures and the.
I go first, and
your presentation. Do you want to?
Yeah, I share my screen.
Yeah.
Okay, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning, and also from me, I'm Michele Dell'Orco. I said I'm responsible of the Student Service Department of Psychology Cognitive Science area. Thank you for taking time out of your day and joining us. Chiara Miorandi is my colleague, specifically the person in charge of the master course. master course. You already heard all the details about the courses presented by the master's coordinator, the professors in charge of the master course. I just wanted to give you some pieces of information regarding the admission enrollment procedures and some hints about the student services provided by our university. Okay, admission deadlines for the academic year 23-24. 30 places are available. 20 out of 30 places are reserved to non-EU students, non-EU candidates. And the strict deadline to apply for the master course is next week, March 10th. So you still have more or less 8 days to complete and submit your application. And 10 places are reserved to EU citizens. And there is another application currently open with the deadline of the end of May in order to submit it. In case places, or some of the 20 places reserved for the non-EU citizens, assigned, these places, remaining places could be assigned to EU students after the first steps of confirmation of the places. To submit the application, you have to enter this link. Either way, we are going to send to you this presentation, all the information, details, and links to different web pages. Admission requirements for all the students, all the candidates, a bachelor degree or higher degree, of course. And this title, the degree, has to be obtained by the candidates, like non-EU candidates, at the latest by the end of June. Whereas for EU candidates, the deadline for obtaining their title, the degree, is at the end of September. For all the candidates, is another strict compulsory requirement, that is the knowledge of the English language, at least at minimum B2 level. And the knowledge of English can be certified through a certification knowledge issued by an institution like Cambridge, IELTS, TOEFL. Obtained by the end of June for non-EU candidates, by the end of August for EU candidates. And students who will be admitted without having submitted a certification knowledge of the language, of course, admission and enrollment will be under condition, provided that they can certify the knowledge of language by the deadlines I already mentioned. End of June for new students and August for EU candidates. You can also certify your knowledge of English with the transcript or records attesting the completion of university exam or English language knowledge at least at B2 level, or having attended a bachelor's or master's degree entirely taught in English, awarded in some countries like the US, UK, Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, South Africa, and Canada, or having a self-certification, submitting self-certification stating that students are English native speakers, mother tongue. Admission criteria. The committee will evaluate the applications according to these different maximum points given to the different criteria. Academic background, a reference letter, maximum 50 points. A statement of purpose, a personal statement written in English language, in which the candidate describe and support his or her application, and a self-presentation video pitch for maximum 20 points. And third criteria is the relevance of potential previous studies and experience concerning the contents of this master course. So very important to me to explain that the statement of purpose and the video pitch or self-presentation are really to be a very original, very interesting one in order to be more appealing and to be evaluated most by the committee. After the selection, we're going to publish the admission ranking list at the latest by the end of next April for non-EU students and the end of June for EU students. There are some steps that have to be carried out in order.
There is somebody with the open mic, maybe?
Okay, it's not a question. So I was saying 3 steps, important steps in order to be enrolled after be selected in April or in June, according to the different citizenship. I said, by the end of April, non-EU candidates ranking list will be published. By the end of June, EU candidates. And applicants will be notified by email from our office about the results. After having written the outcomes, the results of the selection, admitted students have to confirm their acceptance within 7 days after the notification, and they are compulsory to pay a confirmation enrollment confirmation fee of €100. If we don't get the confirmation about the acceptance of the place and the payment confirmed, we consider these students as having renounced their place. And in this case, if there will be available places, we notify immediately to the students following in the ranking list. So in this case, entitled to be admitted. And remember that non-EU students, only non-EU students, they will have to carry out some way cumbersome and time-consuming pre-enrollment procedure at the Italian embassy consulate in their countries. But of course, there will be lots of assistance from our welcome office on these procedures. The final enrollment procedure will be carried out by EU students starting from next July, and from non-EU students in the first week of September, when they are supposed to come to Italy. For all the students, particularly for foreign students, there is the strict deadline to come to Italy, physically in Italy. It is maximum end of September at the latest. The professors have already given lots of details about the courses. Just to remember again, 2 years program, 120 credits, the entire amount of credits for the 2 years, divided into compulsory courses, elective courses, free choice courses, internship, and thesis. More or less, each credit corresponds to 7 hours of attendance in person of the classes. Tuition fees and merit system provided by our university. Only for non-EU students, the admission score, we said, is at least 50 points out to 100 points. And according to this range of points, other students will be tuition fees payer, tuition fees exempted, or just one very lucky guy will be awarded with a scholarship. Unfortunately, this year, only one scholarship for this master course is available. So the first top score student in the ranking list will be awarded the scholarship, and he or she will also be considered tuition fee exempted. All the students getting a score equal or higher than 90 out of 100 will be tuition fees exempted, whereas all the students ranked underneath this point in the range 50, 59, 60, 69, and 70, 89, they will have to pay for the first year sort of amount of tuition fees according to this range of points. So 1,000 or 3,000 or 6,500. And this is for the first year. In the second year, the merit system, tuition fees system of the University of Trento entails that all the students gaining at least 42 credits by the summer exam session, it means it is more or less August 10th. So acquiring at least 42 credits means that all the students can turn into tuition fees exempted. So for the first top score student awarded with the scholarship and tuition fee exempted, of course, he can have the renewal of the scholarship and the tuition fees exemption status only in case of gaining at least 42 credits. For the students, as said, tuition fees exemption only in case of a number of credits equal or higher than 42 credits acquired by August 10th. And for the other students having gained less than 42 credits, the amount of tuition fees is calculated according to this table and the number of credits acquired. So just to wrap up, tuition fees system is a merit system, so strictly related to the number of credits and the merit and number of credits acquired by the students in the first and the second year. For issues regarding accommodation for non-EU students, Opera Universitaria is the institution partner of the University of Trento in charge of accommodation and dorms for students, and also for canteens, restaurants, and cafeterias. So accommodation is granted for the first year starting from the date of the arrival agreed within our International Mobility Office, usually from the beginning of September. So you will be entitled to get a dorm place or accommodation at Opera Universitaria. For EU students, tuition fees, scholarship, accommodation, all these aspects are managed by the Opera Universitaria. And the amount of the tuition fees, of course, can be partially or totally reduced according to the economic situation of the student's family. This, or we call it ISE. Students are supposed to have calculated the ISE every year, January through September, and through this ISE amount, they can be turned into tuition fees exempted or having the tuition fees partially reduced. The same goes for the scholarship and for the accommodation, all managed by the Opera Universitaria, and Opera Universitaria every year issues its call for application mid-June. So you students have to stick to this call for application provided and issued by Opera Universitaria in order to get the accommodation place, and also the reduction of the tuition fees and potentially a scholarship. Very quickly, a very short glimpse into the student services. I usually proud to mention, for instance, the free circulation yearly pass provided by the University of Trento. So all the students paying only 50 euros can travel around the province of Trento using trains, buses, coaches, and so on for free. And it's a very, very good opportunity to be grasped by students. Then the UniTrento app, students can download on their mobile phone, where they can check out their classes, timetable, classrooms, they exams, booklet, record books, and so on. The University Language Center, CLA, where all the students can attend the courses foreign languages, for free, or just paying a very, very low fee. Then the many sports opportunities with the Unisport membership. I want to mention also the amazing, really beautiful libraries of the University of Trento, included the Cognitive Science Library here in Rovereto in front of our building, Trento canteens, the IT labs, and so on. Another very important feature provided by the University of Trento is to allow students to carry out mobilities abroad with financial support provided by the university. There are more than one programs. The most famous is the Erasmus Plus for Study program, which allows the students to study for a semester or 2 semesters one of the European university partners of UniTrento, for taking exams and or carry out internship activities. Then the bilateral agreements program, the same Erasmus study program, but for carrying out mobilities at non-European institutions partner of the University of Trento. Then we have very interesting other very interesting programs, mobility for thesis research, so students can get abroad for 3 months and carry out activities useful for writing their thesis work, and also mobility for traineeship with some calls every year, which allows students to get out and carry out internship abroad. And the most interesting thing is that students can also combine different mobility programs during the same study path. For instance, I could go 1 semester abroad for the Erasmus for study at European university, and then the second semester, the following semester, I could get abroad for carrying out the mobility for thesis research program, for instance. So the combination of different programs is a very important, great possibility for students. Just to wrap up, to end, our contacts, you already know the email of our office, specifically reserved for human computer interaction students, and then the web pages with all the information in details about the master course. Just again to remind you the deadline for non-new students. The application expires next week on March 10. So if you are interested in our master course, you have really to complete very quickly it and submit it by this deadline.
Thank you. Before answering the question in the chat and opening for other questions, I would like to briefly introduce our students that are our smart students that can just say a few words about their current experience. So
Okay, I'll share my screen if I...
Thank you.
Because we have a very, very quick presentation. So can you see my screen?
It's still loading.
load.
Okay.
Okay, now we see it.
Okay, so yeah, go.
Okay, hey everyone, my name is Julia. I'm a second year human-computer interaction student, and at the moment I'm an intern in Germany at Institute of Europe. I have a background in psychology, as I did a bachelor in science method of cognitive psychology in Trento. And then during my bachelor, I got really passionate about what was the cognitive ergonomics and its application in the technological environments. And more than this, I was looking for a future career merging my passion for ergonomics and cognitive sciences, but also the more practical implementation. And basically, I didn't want to stick to a more traditional psychological career. And basically, in human-computer interaction course, I found the perfect combination for all my passion. And I decided then to enroll. Luckily, I got selected. And in this course, I really got even more passionate and more skilled and competent, both in the methodological approaches, which now in my internship I'm finding they are more important than you think, but also the more, how we can say it, more characterizing topics as like neurotechnology more than other subjects more related to design. And this basically is my experience. And maybe if you want to, I can answer more specific question about my experience and my thought on the course. But I will leave the floor to Nicola right now.
Okay, hello, I'm Nicola. I'm a second year master student too. I'm in fact a classmate of Julia, and I'm currently doing my internship at the European Space Agency, which is not really common, but I will talk about that later. So I have the same background as Julia because I have also a bachelor in psychological sciences awarded in Milano, and I was doing my master Trento in human-computer interaction. So what I really liked and appreciated about the course is the strong methodological foundations that it gives to the students, because I've seen it during my internship here that they're really useful and they're really appreciated by other people working in totally different fields. So regarding my internship, it's interesting, and I really advise you to look for internship outside the comfort zone, because usually you think that working for a space agency wouldn't be possible, being that we are studying human-computer interaction. But there are lots of positions open for the aerospace industry, in the aerospace industry, which is not the usual human-computer interaction field, because it's not consumer-oriented, and it's very, very, very specific, but there are definitely positions, and it's very interesting. And I got into that by chance during a company presentation that was given at the University of Trento by a company which does aerospace-related stuff. So there are definitely possibilities, and really the methodological foundation that this course gave me are really important, and they're really useful. So I'm free to answer whatever question you might have about this course.